Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's that time of the year again when we are busy planning our goals and having big dreams. So I decided to give my own quarter on how I plan my own goals, steps that have actually worked for me in the past that I feel you guys will benefit from, and also comment on vision board. The idea of having vision board, does it really work? Has it ever worked for you? And this will be also a time for you to engage down below if vision board has actually worked for you, because I've tried severally. I don't know if I'm not doing it properly or something, but let's get okay. The whole idea of vision board is like using the law of attraction to attract what you really want. So for example, if your dream is to be captured on Beauty Fashion Weekend street style, you have to look for a way to you just have to paste this on a board to say, okay, I'm going to work towards being one of the sensational fashion girls that will be captured for a street style or fashion week or something. Then that will be on your vision board. Then if your vision is to travel more and you know the countries you want to travel, you just get like a magazine or something that captures that vision of you traveling more, that kind of thing. So I understand vision board works for some people, but if you're like me that prefer to document and write and refer to the writing, because I realized that I use more of notepad and I refer to my notepad when I'm planning my goals, that works better for me. Vision board does not really work for me because I know it's going to be something that, okay, it's supposed to work if you see it every day or something, but I wouldn't refer to it after some months. I don't know if you're like me. So it depends. You wouldn't, even if I put it digitally or download it on my phone, I can tell you that I will forget that I downloaded something vision board somewhere that I'm supposed to refer to. But if I write down my goals or write it in a specific notepad, it's my own way of doing things and achieving my goals one step at a time. So you understand? So it depends on you. Does vision board work for people? I would say yes, I would say no. For me, it doesn't work for me. So that's my own opinion. But if it works for you, good for you. So let's go into the steps of how to create your goals and how to achieve your goals in the coming year in a way that is achievable, feasible, that is smart, that is very easy to follow, that will not discourage you. So the first step when you want to create your plan for your goals in 2024 is to write down these goals. So if, for example, your goal is to be among the fashion girls in the street fashion week that is going to be coming, and you want to be among the people that will have this stunning street style when it comes to fashion week, definitely write it down. Okay, this is the goal, to be one of the fashion content creators or one of the fashion girls that will be captured in bigger magazines in the year 2024. Yes, that's a goal. If your goal is to reduce your debt ratio to 0 or less than what you've been carrying over for years, that's also a feasible goal, especially when you have a job on your hands. Then if your goal is to have a career switch, or your goal is to move from your 9-to-5 job into full-time content creation, 9-to-5 job into full-time blogging, that's also a feasible goal. So these goals are goals that you can write down. You can write down, okay, this in the year 2024 I want to be able to travel to 2 African countries. That's also a goal. If your goal is I want to ensure that I refresh my wardrobe, that's also another goal. So these are goals that you can just write down. You can write up to like 10 goals that you know that are feasible. Ensure that your goals are feasible. Be as realistic as possible. Doesn't make sense writing goals that you know within yourself are not realistic. If your goal is to lose weight and you know that you may not be consistent enough to lose weight, and you want to write it just because it feels good to write it, it's just better you write it at number 10 instead of writing it in top, because you know that it's not something you will do for now, but it's still good to add it to your goals. So you write it, all those your goals, one by one. Then the next step is to ensure that you figure out how to achieve your goals. So in 2021 I realized that my goal is to write more travel content, and I noticed that my finances were not really as I expected. So one thing I did, which I discovered the product because of the kind of, I work in a financial institution, so I realized I can get a product that can boost my income a little. So I went for an overdraft. An overdraft, it's something you can get that maybe like enough to carry more than your salary, so it's just a little bit above your salary. So I went for an overdraft to be able to start exploring my city, and that's what I did. So I wrote down a list of places I wanted to explore. My goal was to explore my city more and travel more, or explore more places. So I got the means. How was to get more finance, a financial boost. So it's not really advisable to take loans to travel, but because I knew that what I wanted to do, it has to do with a career that I'm trying to grow by the side, it's reasonable for me to actually take a financial boost. So I went for an overdraft, and that actually gave me the confidence to start exploring. Lo and behold, the first place I went to was Bogobiri House. I'm going to start a picture of it. I went there, I tried out the food, and funny enough, I discovered that they're even closing now. But anyway, I went to Bogobiri House. I had their dishes. I discovered the Wishy kitchen. I went there before I had this financial boost, but I eventually went there when I had the financial boost. I had to try out their food, do the tasting and all that, because it has to do with my career. That's one way of figuring out how to achieve your goals. So if your goal is for you to have a career switch, you have to figure out how. Do you want to start having a professional course that will help you achieve this career switch? Do you want to switch into IT? What certifications will you go for? That's figuring out the how. And the how is not impossible. It is actually achievable, especially when your goals are feasible. So if, for example, my background is finance and I want to switch into IT because I felt it's lucrative, am I ready for it? Yes. Am I mentally ready to study for it? Yes. Then I go for a course that will help me, or maybe go and take a distance learning program, go for masters in that program. That is me having a how to achieve my goals. Then the next step is to pick your goal one at a time. Don't try and do it all at once, because it can be very overwhelming. I could tell you a story of what happened to me this year. Like, I was trying to balance my vlogging, family, child. That was a whole lot. And you know, family, child, your 9 to 5 job are something that you can't just put at the back burner because it is compulsory. You have to balance that. So this, my blogging career and my YouTube career, they are two different things. That is something that I'm trying to grow by the side. Those two things should not affect my main life, which is my family, which is my child, which is my 9 to 5 job, which I know pays the bills for now. So it is not wise for me to let anything overwhelm me. But it was getting so overwhelming that my anxiety grew to the roof, because I do not have a schedule or a routine to achieve this. So that's why it is good to figure out the how. So if I'm going to have a career switch, for example, that's a good one. But how am I going to create a schedule that will work for me? So you have to find a way to balance it. What schedule or routine will I follow? So when I enroll for this course, how do I do it with my 9 to 5 job currently? Will it affect my current job? Will it not make me achieve my goals? So you have to find a way to balance all these things. Then ensure that you track your goals, if possible quarterly. When I think last year, when I was tracking my goals, at the end of every quarter, I go and track what have I achieved, what is next. It keeps me in perspective of my goals. So if you track the goals and you know you have to track it, it helps you realize that you move from that initial new year resolution to having to be serious with your goals and following through with these goals. That's the whole essence of. So when I actually tracked my goals every quarter, I referred to all the written down goals and the specific steps that I want to achieve these goals that I wrote down. Then the goals that I achieved, I tick them out. Okay, these have been achieved. And this you can also use in your personal life. So if you want to plan out, or you want to furnish your apartment, for example, is also a reasonable goal, and you are a spinster or a bachelor just starting out life, and you want to start furnishing your apartment, but you don't know how to achieve this goal, or you have to write it down. Okay, I'll first get chairs, followed by TV. These are actually very, very small goals. So at the end of the quarter, you go and seek out, okay, I have bought TV, I have added DSTV subscription. Now I can constantly pay DSTV monthly subscription, that kind of thing. So you tick out your goals quarterly, and if you check it, if you work in a corporate organization, you realize that is what corporate organizations do. if you actually pay attention, don't feel like your job is killing you or you just hate your job. No, there is some things you can actually learn from your current job, and that is tracking your goals. Your line manager discusses with you on what you've achieved. The organization asks your management what have they achieved, so that they will track quarterly or monthly, and you can apply this to planning your goals. It will really help you. You begin to track, okay, I've done this, you tick it out, then I've done that. That way it helps you to be moving forward, and there's this feeling of achieving your goals, if you don't know. So if your goal is to reduce by 2 pounds and you have done all the things you need to do, then at the end of the quarter you track it and you realize that I've reduced, even if it's 0.5 pounds. That feeling of excitement that wants to make you do more will always be there. That euphoria of I've done something good. You know that time when we were kids and you get these praises for doing something exciting, or you come with a good grade from your school and your parents just give you this nod like, yeah, my daughter is doing well or my son is doing well. It's that same feeling you get when you actually achieve this your small goals. So tracking your goals will actually help you. Then another thing you should not do is you should not don't talk about your goals with anybody. Though it is if it's good to have accountability partner. When I was writing down those my goals, I didn't discuss with anybody. I silently chased those goals, and that will really help you, because when you start telling people that this is what I want to do and that, eventually you may either feel like you've already achieved that goal in your mind, because everybody will be like, go girl, you've done it, go girl, that kind of thing, or you can do it. That feeling of joy when you've not even achieved anything will even make you forget that you have a goal to chase in the first place. So silently chase your goal. Stop looking for validation everywhere for people to make you feel like she's a go-getter, she's a performer, and that kind of just silently write down your goals. Then also write out how you want to live your life. So if your goal is to be comfortable, to be contented with what you have, the little you have, and you want to have a good life of financial freedom, or you want to have a career that you'll be happy to go to, write it down and make sure you achieve these goals. Follow through with your goals, track them down, and that is why I say I'm going to share my own steps that have worked for me. So if I'm to compare doing this to vision board, I would say this works better than using vision board, because on the vision board I cannot go and start ticking I have gone to. Though some people can actually do that. Okay, I have gone to Mauritius, for example, so they go and tick it on the vision board. I don't know how that works, but if you have it written that I've gone to this, or your goal is go for 1 international trip each year, and you write this year you are going to this place, then by June or July, when you track your goals, you go to tickets. That's one way of making sure that you follow through with your goals. So all those new year, new resolution, you know, this is going to be realistic, because you eventually will do this thing, and at the end of the year you will take stock of what you've done, and it will be easy to track because you've been writing and tracking. So you will take stock of what you've done, you will track it, then at the end of the year you will not say, okay, this is what I have achieved, and this is what I know I can carry over to the next year and have more goals, so I'll be able to get closer to that my long-term goals. So if you guys like this video, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. See you another time.